The minor 6 pentatonic scale is a great pentatonic scale to use in dominant chords. I'm going to demonstrate that in this lesson by going over a blues and F and show you for each of the chords which pentatonic scale you can use for that chord. The minor pentatonic scale works great in a lot of contexts, but one thing it doesn't do that well is to convey the sound of a chord that has a tritone in it. This is because the scale doesn't contain a tritone, but we can alter the scale so that it does contain a tritone. And one way to do that is to change the 7th related to the root to a 6. So if we take a C minor pentatonic scale like this, and then change the 7th, so the B flat, into a 6, that's an A, then we get this scale. So now the scale has a tritone between A and E flat. And two of the chords, the arpeggios you can find in there, are an F7 and an A half diminished. And this tells us that this scale will work really well to convey the sound of an F7 with a 9, so just an F7 without any alterations. So the idea is here, if you have an F7 or if you have a dominant without any alterations, you want to use a minor 6 pentatonic scale from the 5th of that chord. If you want to check out some more stuff on the minor 6 pentatonic scale, then I already made one lesson about it that I'll link to in the description, and you can check that out there. The other type of dominant that we need to work with is an altered dominant. So if I take a C7 altered like this, C7 altered is of course the same as D flat minor melodic, and a minor 6 pentatonic scale in the D flat minor melodic scale would be found on the first degree of that scale, so that would be a D flat minor 6 pentatonic, like this. And even though that scale doesn't contain a C, it does contain the main part of the chord, so the B flat and the E. And it also contains some very useful arpeggios, because it has the G flat 7 and the B flat half diminished arpeggios. Both arpeggios that work really well on a C7 altered sound. So that scale will fit really well. So what you want to do is, if you have a C7 altered, if you have an altered dominant, you want to take the minor 6 pentatonic scale half step above the root of the dominant, in many ways, or actually exactly the same as what you would do with a normal altered scale, so minor melodic half a step above. So now we have a way of choosing minor 6 pentatonic scales for all the dominant chords. And now I can go over a blues and F and assign a pentatonic scale to all the chords in that progression. So if I have an F7, we can use C minor 6 pentatonic. For the B flat 7, we can use F minor 6 pentatonic. And then it's back to F, B flat, and then I added this 4 minor chord to go back from the B flat to the F, just to have a few more dominants. And of course the 5th of E flat is a B flat, so that would be an E flat minor 6 scale, so that would be this one. And then we go back to F. Then we get a D7 altered. D7 altered, so a half step above that, and then a minor 6 pentatonic, so that's an E flat minor 6 pentatonic. Then we get a G minor 7. So G minor 7 doesn't contain a tritone, and actually what works best for that one would just be a straight G minor pentatonic, so this one. C7 altered, so a half step above, that would be D flat minor 6. And then we have an F7 and then a C7 altered, and that would be all 12 bars. An exercise to get this into your ears and into your fingers would be to play through the progression like this. So what you should notice is that on the altered dominants, I can't really start on the root because we don't have that in the scale. So I start on the root of the tritone dominant because that's really related to it. So I'm playing this kind of sound instead of this kind of sound. When I have to play C7 altered, I'm playing G flat 7 altered. So but as you can tell, it's the same kind of sound. To give you an idea how this sounds, I'm gonna play one chorus using the scales and write that out. That was a chorus on a blues in F, and I hope you can use the material that I went over here to get started using minor 6 pentatonic scales when you're improvising over dominance. I think it's a nice way to work on this. It can also be an easy way to transition if you're not used to arpeggios, but you're very used to using pentatonic scales. You could start making minor 6 pentatonic scales out of the scales you already know, and then use that to transition into playing more over the changes and more down into the chords. If you've never seen any of my lessons before, then you can of course subscribe to my channel. I publish a new lesson every Thursday, and I've been doing this for 2 years, so there's really a lot of lessons on my channel already. If you want to download a PDF of the examples that I went over in this lesson, then you can go to my website. In the article that's accompanying the lesson, there's a PDF download of all the examples, and in this case of course also the short solo that I just played. If you have any comments or suggestions, then leave a comment on the video or connect with me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And I try to get back to everybody who comments, so feel free to come with suggestions or give me some critique or something that I can use for something. It's nice to hear what you guys think, and it's also nice to hear if you guys have ideas for stuff I could make videos about, some stuff I could explain. That's about it for this week. Thank you for watching. Until next week.